All right, so not too long ago, we did a video about my punk collection. We did a video about my ska collection, and I've been promising to do a video about my emo collection. And I think today's the day. I do have other genres I may do here in the future that I'm a big fan of, but I think emo's the next one to make sense. We're going to dive right in. I've already taken the first record out. I'm going to stack a couple of them on top just to give myself some room inside the cube, because it's a pretty full cube, so that I can talk to you about these records. But the very first emo record I have is American Football LP1, self-titled. This is their first album. This is the Newberry Comics green mix with white splatter vinyl, limited to 750. It is a stunning press. I'm really glad that I have this. And American Football is a band that I discovered a little bit later in life, and I really do enjoy their music quite a bit. However, I need to dive further in. I didn't listen to LP2 or LP3. I've pre-ordered LP4 at this point, but I need to go back and listen to those other two LPs and see how I feel about them. Next on the collection, maybe a band a lot of you don't know. This is Arthur. Arthur is a side project of MXPX, and it's got a couple other guys in the band as well. It's got 4 people total in the band, but this was sort of an emo side project. They only put out a couple of albums. This particular album is called Watch the Years Crawl By. It's the only Arthur album I know of on vinyl, and I'm really glad to have it in the collection. As a longtime MXPX fan, and I also really did enjoy Arthur, so glad to have it. Next album. This is kind of where I think a lot of my love for emo started, Dashboard Confessional. So a while back, they re-released pretty much all of their albums. Well, not all of their albums. A lot of their early albums were repressed kind of all at the same time, and I went hog wild. I bought everything that they put out then. So one of them is, of course, the Swiss Army Romance. And we've got this beautiful red and sort of, I don't know if it's translucent, if it's just clear, or if it's got kind of an ivory color. When I'm looking at it, it's got a little bit of like a Coke bottle clear kind of thing going there, or seafoam, I don't know. But so it's not even green, it's more of like a clear whitish kind of thing. But anyway, really beautiful album. Gotta love Dashboard Confessional. So at the same time, I picked up maybe one of my favorite EPs ever made. That's Dashboard Confessional, So Impossible. This is a perfect EP. All 4 songs, absolutely perfect. The album matches the artwork. Mondo helped do these 10-inch records. I bought all of them at the same time, so really glad to have that one. Next up is the Summer's Kiss EP, which came out around the same time. And I distinctly remember working a job and getting these 2 EPs at a Best Buy just around the corner from where I worked at the time, and listening to those pretty much nonstop on CD. Then after that, we've got Dashboard Confessional, The Places You Have Come to Fear the Most. Got this at the same time. Also, this one's kind of like an egg yolk looking one. So you can see there. Love me some Dashboard Confessional. They are one of my favorite bands of all time. And this was, to me, this was the jewel. This was the one I had to have, and I was so excited when it came out. Dashboard Confessional Unplugged 2.0 in the tricolor to match his wristband. This album was so important to me for, like, I just listened to it so much. And for a while, it was the album that was kind of like, it would calm me down the most if I was feeling stressed or overwhelmed. That would be the album I'd put on and just kind of try and unwind and chill. Another 10-inch that came out around the same time is the Spider-Man 10-inch. So this one literally has Vindicated on one side and a couple of Danny Elfman songs from the soundtrack on the other side. Came out the same. This is also Mondo. Came out the same time as those other 2 10-inches. Really glad to get that one. So let's keep it going. This one's a recent addition. And I've talked about this in another video with an unboxing or a haul or whatever. This is Dashboard Confessional, A Mark, a Mission, a Brand, a Scar. This is the Interscope Vinyl Collective Edition. Really high quality, absolutely stunning on the press. And yeah, this is one that I'm really glad Interscope decided to invest in and do. Let's see here. Next, another Dashboard Confessional. This is Crooked Shadows. This one I actually picked up in a record store. It's split like a light blue and kind of an ivory clear as well. I'll keep this going here. We're still not done with dashboard because we have the best, what is this called again? It's like the best ones of the best ones, something like that. Yeah, the best ones of the best ones. That's right. So, and this one is on kind of that white ivory looking vinyl as well. Kind of a natural color. Let's keep it going. We've got, I'm holding two in my hands here. We've got Dashboard Confessional, All the Truth That I Can Tell. And this one's just on black vinyl. So I'm trying to remember. Yeah, this is the last full-length studio album Dashboard Confessional put out. And so I was definitely glad to get this. And this is a great album. If you haven't listened to this, this kind of goes back to the vibe that you may have missed from previous days. And when I grabbed two, the other one I grabbed, this absolutely gorgeous Emery The Week's End. This is an unoriginal vinyl pressing. Look at this absolutely stunning pressing. And it really goes with like the fishbowl. Just gorgeous splatter. So let's see here. We're getting to that place where it's a little hard to remember exactly where I was last. So then we've got Emery's. This is The Question Anniversary Gold. Those two albums, The Week's End and The Question, definitely my two favorite Emery albums. So very glad to have both of those. I listened to those a ton back in the day. Then we have Fallout Boy, from Under the Cork Tree. This is the Target version. Target has really started doing these single LP, real stripped down basic. There's not a bunch of extra stuff in the case, but they've started doing these like one LP versions of some great albums. So and they're usually pretty cost efficient. So this is a really gorgeous splatter as well that really goes with the artwork. And love that. So the only Fallout Boy I own so far, which one day I hope to fix, but if you're going to own one, that's definitely a great one to pick up. This is a shining part of my collection as well. This is Further Seems Forever, The Moon Is Down anniversary box set. This is a little dusty, as you can see, but this is also unoriginal vinyl. This came with a giant poster that's hanging up in our sort of playroom. It's got this great book that's got kind of an oral history of Further Seems Forever. And of course, this is the album that started it all for Further Seems Forever. And if you don't know Further Seems Forever, you are really missing out, because Further Seems Forever, their album was, their first album has Chris Carrabba from Dashboard Confessional on it. And it's about the time that he was starting to come out as Dashboard as well. So there's sort of a whole story there. For those of you who loved Chris, you'll love Further Seems Forever. But you don't have to be a fan of Chris to love Further Seems Forever, because every album, they kind of have a different vocalist, and they're all really amazing. This is the second album. And this is the, I don't know if, I think maybe SML XL Vinyl might have done this album. I can't remember who did this album. There is an unoriginal vinyl pressing of this as well now, which is the one I would go for if I were getting it again. But this is How to Start a Fire. This has Jason Gleason on vocals. And this is my favorite Further Seems Forever album. And this is sort of a kind of creamy yellow color. This is my favorite Further Seems Forever album, but lots of people like different albums. They're all really good. The next Further Seems Forever album is, this one's called Hide Nothing. This one has John Bunch, who was the lead singer for Sensefield and has since passed away as the lead singer on this album. It is also just a stunning and remarkable album. This is also an unoriginal vinyl pressing, and it's got this gorgeous pressing here. So I'm very glad to have that. And then there is, and that was the last one I needed of the studio albums. I had this one already. This is Penny Black. Chris Carrabba came back to Further Seems Forever for this album. This one I actually found before I got any of the other ones, and I found this in a little record store in Bedford, Texas. But I got this red translucent vinyl. So again, always glad to have all the Further Seems Forever and of course all the Chris Carrabba. So then we have the Get Up Kids. Now, I was actually looking for their second album when I found this album. So this is 4 Minute Mile. I believe this is their first album. I could be wrong on if it's their first, but this one and the next one are really the ones that I think were the ones that got the most attention. And this is a band I didn't grow up listening to, even though I had a lot of friends that did listen to them. And one of my friends, Christy G, talks about them so much that I was like, you know what? I need to go pick up some Get Up Kids. What I've heard of them fits my vibe. I need it. So this was the album that was in my record store, my favorite record store in Fort Worth is called St. Marie Records. And so this was one that was there when I went into the store, so I picked it up. And it is not a disappointment. It's really great. It's on like a white vinyl. But the one I really wanted the most, the one I knew was kind of a lot of people's favorite, was this one. And so this is the Get Up Kids, Something to Write Home About. This is the 25th anniversary edition, and it's a deluxe edition. It is really beautiful pressing, as far as like, I don't know if you can really see that, but it's got kind of like a tan and gray colors in the vinyl. But it's really high quality case and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really glad to add that as well. So we're through the Get Up Kids, and now we're jumping into Jimmy Eat World. So this one here, Clarity, I picked this up at St. Marie Records. They're a band I've been trying to, I don't know if I'll get everything they put out, it's just black vinyl. I don't know if I'll get everything they put out, but I am trying to get a lot of their albums, and I've got a good chunk of the ones I want, but I've still got a ways to go. Jimmy Eat World is amazing. They're, again, just a phenomenal band. I saw them live forever ago. I would not mind going to see them live again. But so Jimmy Eat World, Clarity there. The first Jimmy Eat World album that I picked up is the one that I listened to the most back in the day of CD, and that's this one, Bleed American. I listened to this album so much, I'm surprised I didn't wear it out on CD back when I had it. This is also just a black vinyl, but really thrilled to have this in the collection. It's an all-time favorite album. It's way up there. Then we go on to Futures. This is another album I spun a lot. And I think this one didn't get enough love because Bleed American was so good that I think some people were maybe a little let down by this record. But the more you listen to this, the more you loved it. And so, again, really glad I have this album. I mean, like, Pain is such a good song on here. So this is also black vinyl. Then we've got, this is a special pressing. This is the Juliana Theory. This is Understand This Is a Dream. This is sort of an anniversary pressing, I believe. And then it's got this special kind of, there's no way to really like fully let you see this, but it's got like a special sort of jewel case. I don't know, jewel case isn't the right thing. It's got a wraparound, basically, is what it's got. But there's parts of this that are like a velvet touch kind of feel to it. You got to get this, you had to go see the band live, and I couldn't go see them live. So a friend of mine who was already going, I gave him my package so that he would pick up this album for me, and he did. And so you can see it's a splatter, translucent splatter, and I've got a poster hanging up in my playroom, autographed by the band. And yet, I've never seen them live, and that's definitely something that needs to be fixed one day. But I really appreciate Brett Detar and the other, and please forgive me if I mispronounce his last name, and the other guys from the band for working with me to be able to pick that up because it was a complicated situation. Then I've got Emotion Is Dead. This and the last one, both unoriginal vinyl pressings that I really love. This has this beautiful blue, and then the second LP on this is this beautiful red. So yeah, another fantastic album. If you've never listened to the Juliana Theory, you're really doing yourself a disservice. I would do just about anything to pick up a couple more of their albums on vinyl, like Love and, there's a couple others, but those I do not have yet. All right, next we have My Chemical Romance. Okay, so My Chemical Romance, and for me, they were a little after my time when I was most listening to this music. So a lot of other people, maybe to them, they're like the band that got them into emo. I didn't really listen to them till they'd already put out most of their albums. But this album especially, this is the deluxe edition of, what is it called? Hooray for Sweet Revenge, something like that. 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. Man, sorry. But this has several of the songs that I love the most, like I'm Not Okay and Helena. And so I'm really glad to have this. I had been wanting to pick up a version, and then I saw the anniversary edition one day. It is black with like a red kind of splatter in there that's hard to see. Definitely gives the illusion of blood. So, and love that album. Let's see what's next. Next we have Panic at the Disco. This is a recent acquisition for me. This is Panic at the Disco, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. This is the 20th anniversary edition. I don't know if I would even try to pick up any more Panic at the Disco albums. There's a couple more songs I like by Panic at the Disco, but as far as like full albums, this is definitely the one that I listen to the most. It's on red vinyl. And this has, of course, I Write Sins Not Tragedies, and several of their biggest songs are on this album. So, all right, we keep going. We're getting closer here. Now we've got Paramore. So we're entering the Paramore section. Paramore is a band that I love. Now, to be fair, I think if you're looking at Paramore's albums, they're definitely not, like, you get to a point where they're not emo, right? They're more like pop or alternative rock. But for me, wherever a band starts, that's really, or I'd say like if most of their albums lean in one particular direction, I might move them there. But for me, I think I associate Paramore with like that pop punk and emo time in the early 2000s. So I'll keep them there with the emo for now. So we got Paramore, All We Know Is Falling. This is the 25th anniversary of Fueled by Ramen, limited edition silver vinyl. I don't know how limited it was. There was a lot of silver vinyl going around through Fueled by Ramen at that point, but that's okay. Love me some Paramore, happy to have it. Let's see where else we are. Then we've got Riot, also limited edition, 25th anniversary of Fueled by Ramen. I could go album by album and talk about how great all these albums are, but chances are you know because you also have listened to them and you also love them as I do. I loved both of those albums, and then I kind of fell off. So when I got back into Paramore, I had to go pick up this album, for instance. Right? I did not have this album. I didn't know this album really at all. But I started listening to some of the singles off of it, and I really, really liked it. And really the 2 albums I didn't know were this one and this one. After Laughter and Brand New Eyes, I really didn't listen to either of these in the day that they came out. So this is just black vinyl, the Brand New Eyes. And then this one, the After Laughter, it's got a little bit of a splatter. It's like gray and black splatter. And I really do love both these albums. I mean, to be fair, I don't think Hayley Williams can do much wrong. They're both great albums. They are the albums I know the least by Paramore. But I'm definitely, when I listen to them, I really do enjoy them. Then we've got the self-titled album, which I think I got this for like my birthday or something one time. So this is on black vinyl. Just going to keep it rolling with, this is what got me to really dive deep into Paramore, and that is This Is Why. I love this album. It's fantastic. This is part of Atlantic's 75th anniversary. This is a Target exclusive gold colored vinyl, which honestly is not my favorite color for pressing for this album, but I just love this album so much and I was really glad to get it. And then I was even more glad to get at Record Store Day to pick up the sort of remix album of This Is Why. If you don't know this album, this is all the songs from This Is Why, but they're reworked by a lot of fantastic artists. It's translucent red vinyl. This has Jack Antonoff, Wet Leg, Foles, the Linda Lindas, Panda Bear. Julian Baker is on here, and Julian Baker is one of my all-time favorites. So really phenomenal album. And as a Paramore fan, so glad to have this as well. We're not done yet, though, because now we're getting into Page of the Line. And to be fair, my Hayley Williams albums are separate than the Paramore stuff, because Hayley Williams independent albums really were never in the emo category. But so then I've got Pedro the Lion. Pedro the Lion, this is Winners Never Quit. The song on here, what is the name of the song? I don't remember the name of the song. Oh, Slow and Steady Wins the Race. That is the song that introduced me to Pedro the Lion, and I absolutely love that song. And I think it's like a vital, essential, necessary song for everyone to listen to at least once. This is a sort of translucent, kind of grayish color, black, translucent black, something like that. Color album. I'm just going to set it up there because there's no way I'm getting that in there quickly. Then we've got Pedro the Lion Control, another fantastic album. If you don't know Pedro the Lion, there have been times where he's done solo music under the name Dave Bazan, but started under the name Pedro the Lion. Came from the Christian rock scene, but was sort of too honest and was quickly made to be not a part of that scene, but still loved very much by a lot of people from that scene. Here's Pedro the Lion. This one is, this is Havasu. So he did a series of albums about places that he's lived. This one's Havasu. This is a fantastic album. And I don't have all three of the ones he's done about places he's lived. I have Havasu, and I have, this one is Santa Cruz. This is the forest green pressing, pine forest green pressing of Santa Cruz. So the one I'm really missing is Phoenix, which is really not too hard to get a hold of. And one day I will also have that one. And then we have Saturdays at Your Place. I recently talked about this because this is a very recent acquisition. It's like a blue splatter as well. This is a newer emo band. I really wanted to start opening myself up to emo bands that have come around recently because most of my emo knowledge was really from back in the day. And so definitely wanted to dive into that. And I'm almost done. We got about two more. We've got, this is, of course, Sunny Day Real Estate Diary. This is the 30th anniversary on Pearl vinyl. I don't remember where I picked up this 30th anniversary. And I think there is a logo. I think I might have got it straight from Sub Pop Records. But so this Pearl vinyl is absolutely stunning, but you're not going to be able to see it very well from there. But it is a translucent pearl and absolutely stunning. And I love that album. Recently, it was on a Hot Takes episode of a podcast, and it was very interesting to kind of hear that take. And my last one is, okay, this one is so good. If you don't know this one, this is Matt Cutzel with Emo's Not Dead. And Emo's Not Dead does hilarious videos, kind of making fun of emo while also being like so true to the scene. And then he started his own band called Your Broken Hero, where they make phenomenal emo songs, kind of making fun of emo music. And there's a lot of great like guests on these albums as well, or on these songs as well. So this is just stunning, sort of Purple Smoke edition. Now, last I heard, and I don't know what happened with it, he was working on a covers album that you had to be a part of the Kickstarter to get. And I would love to have it, but I just could not have committed at that time. But yeah, if you don't know Your Broken Hero, I highly recommend that you check them out. They're a lot of fun. And that is it. That is the Emo collection. It's a pretty full cube. And of course, with all my collection, it is growing, and I hope to get more. And I'll see you again with the next set.